So if we had something like negative 2g equals 10, what would you tell me to do?
Take away the 10.
So, well, what operation are these two? Multiplication, so it's the opposite. So I divide by what number?
2.
Negative 2, don't forget your negative. Divide by negative 2. So then we would get g equals what? Negative 5. Okay? That's the same exact thing when we solve inequalities. If I have negative 2g is less than 10, what operation are these two? Division. Or sorry, what operation are these two? Multiplication. So what's the opposite? So what do I divide by? Okay, so I divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. So g is less than
Negative 5.
negative 5. Okay, now let's say I want to go back and check to make sure my answer is right. What is a number that would be less than 5? Negative 5.
Negative 6.
Negative 6, right? So let's say g is negative 6. So if I take 2 times negative 6, that should be less than 10, right? So what is negative 2 times negative 6? A negative times a negative is a positive, so positive 12. Is 12 less than 10? No. So what can I do to make this true?
You put a negative 2 and then a positive 6.
No.
Then you get negative
What,
12.
Addie? Flip the sign. If I flip my sign, is 12 greater than 10?
Yes.
So that means I have to switch the sign only when you multiply or divide by a negative number. So you only switch the sign when you divide or multiply by a negative number. Okay? So if I have x over negative 3 is less than or equal to 4, what operation are x and negative 3?
Division.
So what's the opposite? So I multiply by negative 3, multiply by negative 3. X, am I going to keep or change the sign? Change because I'm multiplying by a negative number. So it'll become what?
Oh, something is less than x.
So this is less than or equal to, so the opposite is greater than or equal to negative, what's 4 times negative 3?
12. Negative 12.
Negative 12. So you solve the same. The only thing is when you get to a negative multiplying or dividing, you have to switch the sign. Carter? So on C, Callie, what did you do to solve? So we all agree that we would times by negative 2, right? Okay, so then you have to do it to this side. So, Angelo, am I going to keep or change the sign? Change the sign, so it would be K is what? Greater than, and what number? Negative 18. Questions on that? Thumbs up, that's what you got. Awesome. So, then I have to use 3 numbers. Aaron, what 3 numbers did you use? What comes before that? Negative 19 and negative 17. Good. Make sure your number line is in this order. Sometimes we're still mixing up the negative numbers. It's opposite of what you think. Perfect. Okay, open or closed circle, Sean? Closed. Okay. Open, because can it equal negative 18?
Yes.
No. It doesn't have the line underneath of it. It's just greater than. So it's open circle. And then where are the numbers greater than negative 18? To the left or toward the right?
Right.
So then my arrow would go that way. Thumbs up if you got the graphing.
No,
Okay.
I didn't, because I put 8, 9, and 10.
Okay. So the only thing else that I want to say is if you have something like x over 2 is less than 5, am I going to keep or change the sign?
Keep.
Keep it,
There's
because
no negative.
there's no negative, okay? Keep or change the sign?
No, now you change it because there's a negative.
What are you multiplying by?
2.
So we all agree that we would multiply by 2, right?
Then you
Is
get a negative
2,
number.
but it's the number that you're multiplying or dividing by. Is 2 negative or positive?
Positive.
Positive. So do you change the sign?
No.
No. Now when I have this, do you keep or change the sign?
Change.
Change, because the number I'm multiplying by is negative. So it-
Negative, you still change the sign.
Yes. So if you have that, you also change it because it's the number that you're multiplying or dividing by. So the one that you're moving. If it is negative, you always change the sign. If it's positive, you leave it the same. Okay? Okay. You guys are going to go